Hi, Virtual Island Summit ambassadors. This is just a quick video for those of you who weren't able to join our meeting about virtual hubs, or for those of you who did but wanted a recap about what the Virtual Hubs program is. As you'll know, the Hubs initiative was originally meant to be a physical event. With everything that happened this year, that's not happening, and we've been through a few different iterations of what this actually means to do a hub and how that will work. And we would like ambassadors, where possible, to try and organize some level of hub that will take place locally on their island, obviously virtually. The idea of these hubs is that the summit itself, happening on the 7th or the 13th of September, will be organized thematically. So we'll have a session about electric vehicles or energy utilities or tourism. And each of those sessions could have someone from the Caribbean, Scotland, the Pacific, and Japan, or any other combination of islands in it. The hubs, we want to be an opportunity to set priorities and also allow people to have a better understanding of how they on the local level can get involved, learn from, and contribute to this global network. So we'll have the very global virtual focus of the summit, but then the hubs will be happening before and after, and we'll have this local geographical focus. So it could be around, I guess, two things. It's really about asking people what they want as a priority. So the question is almost, what do you think, and this is to a whole audience of people, what do you think are our priorities locally that we should be focusing on the summit? So going into the summit beforehand, it's thinking about what are those priorities, and then hopefully after the summit at the end of September, we'll regroup, organize those hubs again, and say, okay, now we have all this information. How do we turn that into action? They'll look very different for each place. If you have an island of 500 people, the hub will be different than if you're thinking about a whole area. And these hubs, they don't have to be on the island focus. So it's absolutely fine to have an island of Scotland or an island of Canada. I know those have both been talked about. Hub, which will talk about what are the priorities for the islands in this region, but equally it could be a single island like Jamaica, or like or a small group like Hawaii, for example. It could be, what is the opportunity in each of these cases? We'd really like you to collaborate with other ambassadors in your region where possible, and try and do this around the end of August or very early September, before the summit, to lead into that. So we've prepared a document. I'm just going to share my screen now. You should have seen this email, which has some more information. If there's one thing that you keep track of for our ambassadors program, it's these emails, these ambassador emails that come out every week or two, which will have all the key information you need. I know there's a lot of information on Slack and WhatsApp, and those are meant to supplement this, but don't worry if it's overwhelming. Just focus on these emails. And in this email, you'll see the download the Virtual Hubs guide, or we've also sent you a link to this as well. So this Virtual Hubs guide goes into some more detail. I'm not going to go through the whole guide now, but the idea is this sets out an idea, and you can be flexible, but it sets out kind of a plan of what this virtual hub can look like. But think about those two objectives. One, asking people what are their priorities, what are the islanders' priorities that they want to do and that they want to achieve. This is for the pre-summit. We'll regroup on the post-Island Innovation Summit, on the post-Island Innovation Hubs as well. So first priority is, what do you want as a local? What are your priorities? And the second is giving people the confidence to involve themselves in the local, in the virtual island summit. Because a lot of people think, oh, well, I'm not qualified, or I shouldn't take a place. And it's, no, everyone is invited. We want to encourage people to be involved. And that could look like these smaller events that people are a bit more accessible can be a really good stepping stone for people then to join the main hub. So I'll just run through a couple of quick points here. In terms of the virtual hubs, as I said, the main objectives are laid out here. There's an example structure of the event. This can be really flexible according to what you need. We would say max around 60 to 90 minutes, up to 2 hours at the very, very most if you need to, but have a good justification for that. We will provide you with either our Zoom channel or our Remo account. If you haven't used Remo yet, go to remo.co and check that out. It's an awesome account to allow it's an awesome platform to allow small group interaction. So you can use our accounts for either of those to set up your hubs. And we will help you get set up with those and give you any advice that you need for launching this. You could also do Instagram Live, Facebook Live, others if you want to as well, but we have more support for Zoom and Remo. Feel free to hold it in your local language. It can be in English, but part of this is making it more accessible. So if people in your region are less comfortable in English, then you can do either a mixture of English or just do it in your local language to make it accessible. You need to think about having maybe speakers and a moderator, but this should not be like a 90-minute panel discussion. If you have speakers, they should be very short, 3-4 minute interventions, people introducing a concept and then leaving, and your moderator should allow people to contribute, ask questions, discuss, and maybe use things like polling to ask people these core questions of what they would like to prioritize, because we're in a new world, right? After COVID, maybe last year we talked a lot about something else, and this year we've kind of had this realignment of priorities. So what does it mean for people now to live on an island? We've got an example agenda that you can go through here. This is just an example structure for you to think about, but you can be flexible. If there's something else you'd rather do instead, then no problem at all. Just let us know and we'll help you organize that. And we want it to be flexible to suit your local needs. You'll see here this idea. But think about how you're taking information in from the audience as well as sending information out. It should be a two-way street, and that's why maybe Remo or Zoom breakout rooms is a really nice channel to do that with. We're asking you as ambassadors to plan the logistics, confirm and organize the agenda, identify the priorities and kind of facilitate that, and then really promote this locally. We'll also promote it through our network. We'll give you our channel. We'll give you any help and guidance that you need. We're happy to set up meetings with you. Isabella's also sent a link where you can book a time with her to discuss these through, or you can send me or her emails as well, and we'll help you. And make sure that people are aware of your event. But the idea is for you to really focus on local attendance, so it gets people from your island or group of islands attending. And I know we discussed this, for example, with Scotland. It could be that you use a network like the Scottish Islands Federation to reach out to those networks and ask those participants to be involved. If it's in another place where maybe you don't have that network or federation, you can say Canada, we discussed as well. You can reach out to local groups in different islands around the country and ask them to participate and invite their networks and their members to join and connect. We'll provide all the support listed here and help you out with any logistics that are needed. And would encourage you, if you are a group, I know, for example, the group in Jamaica and Trinidad have all been working together. In those cases, then it would be great for you to collaborate. And then it would be good to kind of take out this follow-up data and come out of this hub with some kind of results or findings that we can then utilize going into the summit. That's it in terms of our document, and we'll share this document so you can go through it. But we want to help you do this, and then after the summit, we can regroup and figure out what the post event summit looks like. And you don't necessarily need to do both, but the idea is we have this local focus, we go out globally, share all this information, and then come back in. And obviously this is a new thing. We're experimenting with how these hubs work. So we're really open to your ideas and we want to make it work for you. So that's it from me. Really excited. I know I've already seen at least a dozen people with different plans and different islands. That was really exciting. So it's August now. Hopefully this will all be done. You have about just under a month to pull this off. really achievable, but let us know how we can support you in doing that. We're here to help and really appreciate all your enthusiasm and work that you've put in so far. So a big thank you from me and from all of the Island Innovation team. And also, you might have seen that we have our networking plus tickets, which are the only part that attendees have to pay to. So I do want to say that we're making those available to ambassadors. We'll only be giving those to ambassadors that have pulled their weight and have obviously either organized a hub or have been very active on social media, making videos, something like that. So we will be making those to ambassadors. And to make sure that if you are doing that, make sure to kind of keep tabs of the things that you're doing so that we know what you've been doing, because sometimes it's difficult for us to keep track of everyone and know what you've done. So do let us know, tag us in your posts, make a video, and yes, thank you all. Really excited to see what these hubs will look like, and looking forward to joining. Thanks a lot.